welcome back guys. Greg here. Today we're finally going to be fixing up these fender wells, getting them cleaned up, painted. So it's really pretty simple. I'll show you what I'm going to do. So here we are in the fender well. Everything's kind of cleaned out here. Did all that in some previous videos. I'll have a link down below. So really what I'm going to do first is wash this down. I've got some degreaser. Sorry, there's a shadow. So just the purple stuff, degreaser. You can use simple green, whatever. And hose, brush. Just want to do some scrubbing, knock off as much dirt as I can, especially stuff that's laying up in here, stuff that's down in all these cracks. Get it as clean as possible. So that's it. Enough talking. Time to get to work. Alright, well I'm still here cleaning. It's looking pretty good. The good news is this primer looks great. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a nice nice shine to it. It's in really nice shape. You know, I was going to loosen these bolts and try to move these things around to try to get in there and clean and get it painted really nicely, but I mean, these things are in mint condition. I'm not even going to touch them. I'm just going to leave them right where they are. I'll keep cleaning around the little edges as good as I can. I'm just going to paint it just like it is. And you can see in here, this looks really great. It's getting pretty clean. A little bit of dirt up in there. So mainly all I've been doing is just hosing down, spraying with the super clean, scrubbing it, hose it down. And so now I've gone over it one time with just glass cleaner. That's kind of what I like to use to tell if things are getting clean. I'll just spray it with some glass cleaner like so, and take just a white shot towel here and wipe it down. If it comes off clean, then I know I'm doing good. There's a little bit of blue paint coming off still, but no dirt. So I'm just gonna keep going over this and be ready to paint before you know it. As with all projects like this, once you get into it, things start expanding. So I've been doing some cleaning in here, and now I think I'm gonna paint this whole side here of the fender well and the strut tower. Paint all of this. And then as I was getting some of the wiring out of the way and stuff, I started coming up here, and now I've already started removing all of this stuff. So I think I'm gonna paint this front part of the radiator support, the top part of it. And I already pulled off the hood latch and taking off these stickers. We got to do a lot of cleanup still. Yeah, things just keep expanding. And can't wait to get into that side. So I'm probably going to end up doing the same thing, just basically paint the entire engine bay while I'm here. So hopefully I can make quick work of it. And I'm going to keep knocking it out. And by the way, I'm gonna have a separate video for kind of doing a restoration of this hood latch and paint the bracket and all of that stuff. So that'll be in a separate video. Whenever I get that done, I'll drop a link down in the summary. Meanwhile, in other news, you know what I just realized? I thought this thing had been painted red before, but then I thought this other paint was just flaking off. But this is actually silver metallic. This is a red stripe. They painted over the vinyl red stripe. You can see the seam right here. And then I started looking back here on the other part of the ground effects, where I thought it was just paint flaking off and there was primer. This is silver metallic. I think this whole car used to be silver on the bottom with a red stripe around it, and then the top half was blue. So yeah, new discovery. And now back to our program already in progress. Well, I'm continuing to clean in the engine bay here. I think I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole engine bay. This side you've already seen is pretty much cleared out. I've just been doing more cleaning and degreasing. Now I've worked my way up here to the front. I've removed, all the brackets and other pieces that you typically find up here. So just doing some cleaning and degreasing. Paint is coming right off. Primer looks like it's in pretty great shape. So I'm just gonna sand this down, scuff it up, and I'll be ready for a new layer of primer. But I'll got a lot more cleaning to do on here. Just a lot of build-up, 30 years of grime. So next, I think I may, I guess I'm gonna have to paint back there across at least the top of the firewall. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the hood. This project is definitely expanding more than I thought it would. So I'll take off the hood, start cleaning all that off, and then I'm gonna work on this side over here, which is a huge mess. And I still have to do the other fender well. Haven't even started on that yet. You can tell a big difference between this side and the other side. All right, so I guess I'll just keep working. Just about everything cleared off the firewall, the top part of the firewall anyways. Let's see, this little bushing here for the washer fluid hose. I'll just push this back in from the opposite direction, so after I paint it, it'll look a little bit more clean, although there'll still be a hole there instead of this thing sticking out. Need to get these out of here. Should just come out, I think. Kind of stuck on there. Yeah, I need to get under there and pry under this rubber piece. It's kind of stuck on. So, but those are ready to come out. The pins are still in here for this wire loom here, but I'll pop those out. And this will be pretty much clear. I do need to disconnect the wiper motor inside there, and then I can get that completely out of the way. Went ahead and disconnected my wiring from it. As soon as I disconnect the wiper arm in there, this thing will come completely out of the way, and pull this out, and that'll be pretty much clear right there. And it's time for this. So I'll go ahead and get that cleaned up, and I'll be right back. All right, so it's looking a lot better. Got the hood hinges out of there, those are a pain. So I got those pried off. And everything else is pretty much cleared off. The firewall here, the brake lines, I should be able to move enough. Get those out of the way, get that cleaned up. Not much rust really. A little bit right in here. But pretty much no rust at all. Alright, so now I'm just going to keep working my way around and come down this side. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Pretty much got everything out of here, including the hood latch cable. Just poured it loose. It's just laying over here across the engine. Battery tray bolts. Just disconnected all of this stuff. Everything over here is disconnected, so I can kind of get to everything. One thing I need to do is unplug this. And once I do that, I'll be able to get this harness. This harness down here, kind of over on the other side of the master cylinder. So once I do that, that'll open this up a little bit more, where I can have cleaner access to it. Yeah, as you can see, all this stuff just moves right over out of the way. So I'll get all that probably kind of tie it up over here, and then I'll put plastic over it. I'll be ready to start cleaning and prepping this side. I think I'm just about through with the degreasing portion of this work. So I've already had my wire brush out, wire wheel on my drill, and cleaned up these areas where the hood hinges were, and got some rust down in here. I think I'm going to use this wire brush on my drill to get down on that area. And I had some rust here in the past where it looks kind of reddish. That's actually a primer that's on there. So I'll probably take that off and get it down to bare metal, use my epoxy primer. And yeah, that's just about it. A few of the little bits of rust here, I'll get that down to bare metal. So let me get that done and we'll get this video wrapped up. So it's coming on pretty good. If you can see, it's kind of shiny there, but you can see some little pits in the metal there, and that's where it had the rust. Looks like most of that is coming up pretty good. Let me go over that a little bit more. All right, I feel like I've spent, I don't know, maybe 6 hours just cleaning the fender wells, engine bay, cowl, a little bit of the firewall back here on the passenger side. And found out a few more little spots of rust I want to get rid of, but when I use that wire wheel, it tends to spit dust everywhere. So I'm going to cover this up with plastic. I'm not going to do all the masking like I'm getting ready to paint, but just at least cover up the bulk of this with some plastic. And then and continue with the wire wheel, getting rid of some rust spots. I'm going to work over here on this strut tower and back here on this hood hinge on this side, that where that bare metal is. And you know, it won't be long. I'll start doing my sanding on all this paint. But yeah, let me get this covered up with plastic, take care of the rest of this rust, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, so it's coming along, still cleaning, still taking away rust. Found a few more spots of rust in here, making all that cleaned up. And down on the fender well, did find some rust up in the top of the strut tower, so I've been getting that cleaned off all along here, underneath here. And then I really wanted to clean up around where the headlights are. So I ended up taking out the headlight harness just to get this cleaned up. And luckily I started cleaning this because I found more rust here that I've removed. So yeah, now I removed the headlight harness. So you know, I think that's about it for this video. I'm going to finish cleaning, finish sanding, finish getting rid of the rust. Not sanding, but just sanding where the rust butts are. And basically down to the point where I am ready to sand all of this area and prepare for the paint. So I'm going to cut this video off now, and I will come back when I'm ready to start sanding all of this and prepping this for paint. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed my video. Just goes to show you how, you know, wanting to do something like paint the fender well and get ready for suspension to go in leads to removing the hood, painting the entire engine bay, removing the headlight harness. I mean, it's just growing, and I'm sure that's happened to everybody. So that's it. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. See ya.